morning, everyone. It's good to be here today again. Um, Last month, we read Daring Greatly by Brent Brown. So, the book is about embracing vulnerability and live, embracing vulnerability and imperfection to live wholeheartedly and engage courageously. According to the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, vulnerability means the fact of being weak and easily hurt physically or emotionally. Well, that's just a general definition. So while reading the book, we learned about understanding vulnerability, and there are four major areas in which that covers. So the first one is vulnerability is not weakness. We tend to see other people's vulnerability as courage, but we see our own vulnerability as weakness. Vulnerability is merely a feeling with a sense of uncertainty and emotional exposure. Now, the second one, vulnerability is not an option. So people claim they don't do vulnerability because they act strong, they want to be logical or professional. But they forget that life is unpredictable. And it's okay to feel unsure and be imperfect at times. The third one, vulnerability is not letting it all out. Now, embracing vulnerability doesn't mean you should bear out your soul to everyone, meaning that because you want to open up, you just open up to anybody. It's about opening up with people that you've built good relationship with. And sometimes when we meet some people, it's like, where have you been? But no, this kind of relationship has to be a reciprocal one, meaning that when you share your vulnerability, the other party too must also be vulnerable to you. The fourth one, vulnerability is not best tackled alone. The best way to handle vulnerability is with support from others. When we have the courage to be vulnerable, others will gradually open up too. So there are four major areas that understanding vulnerability affects. The first one is how we live, how we love, how we parent, and how we lead. I'll go again. How we live, how we love, how we parent, and how we lead. So how we live. There are some societal expectations that people set. For instance, they expect women to know how to do it all, have good careers, have a certain body type. And men, on the other hand, the society expects that as a man, you must not be weak, you must earn more. So things like this does not allow people to be vulnerable. So when they are vulnerable, especially for the men, they say that, why are you acting like a woman? So understanding vulnerability is going to make you know that it's okay to be imperfect. And there's also perfectionism. Now, if you don't understand vulnerability, you tend to live this lifestyle of perfectionism. So when other people are vulnerable, it's going to look like they are being weak to you. Then how we love. The first key is to practice self-love. Love yourself. Know your strength. Know your weakness. The second key is to be conscious of societal expectations. Of course, there are societal standards, but know the ones to follow to avoid unnecessary pressure for yourself. Then practice love by trusting and being vulnerable to your loved ones and support each other in your vulnerability. How we parent. Great parenting is not having the best strategies and techniques. It's about being the best possible role model to our children. It means that be the adult that you want your children to be. The best foundation we can give our children is a sense of love, belonging, and self-worth. Teach your kids early to embrace vulnerability. Now, how we lead. As a leader, it's important to understand vulnerability and avoid perfectionism at all costs. Teach your team to embrace vulnerability and then be an example of be a good example to your team. In conclusion, daring greatly requires worthiness and being truthful to ourselves. It's okay to be imperfect. So this month, we'll be reading Your Money or Your Life by Vicky Robin. Okay. So it's a personal finance book that focuses on changing your relationship with money so that you can live intentionally and gain financial independence. Thank you.